Words can cut deeper than any blade, slicing through your peace in a heartbeat. A snide comment, a mocking tone, a glance that lingers too long on your floss, they hit fast, leaving invisible bruises that burn beneath your skin. You feel it. In your chest, a tight knot of anger or shame. You replay the moment, crafting the perfect comeback you never said, carrying the sting to bed, waking up with it still smoldering. Why do we let words, mere puffs of air, wield such power? Because we're human, wired to crave approval, and a stranger's venom can poison our calm for days, even weeks. On WisdomWavesAura, we explore how to rise above this, to master the art of Unshakable.com, drawing from ancient wisdom to shield your mind in a world that loves to throw daggers. The Stoics, those old-school philosophers, faced this same poison in bustling markets and treacherous Roman courts, where envy dripped from tongues like venom. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who knew a thing or two about pressure, wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed." It sounds cold, almost too simple for our chaotic, noisy world where every slight feels personal. But he was onto something profound. An insult only has power if you give it oxygen, if you let it spark a reaction that burns through your peace. Picture this. You're in a crowded room, maybe a family gathering, or a heated online thread, and someone lobs a verbal grenade your way. They call you out, twist your words, or mock something you hold dear. Your instinct is to fire back, to defend your name, to prove them wrong. Your heart races, your palms sweat, and you're ready to swing with sharper words. But what happens? The crowd, whether it's your cousins or faceless usernames, watches, and your reaction makes them wonder if the jab held some truth. You're shouting, you're justifying, and suddenly you're the one on trial. Now imagine the opposite. You stand there calm, unmoved. You don't flinch, you don't snap. The person who threw the insult is left alone with their venom, their words hanging awkwardly in the air, rotting in their own mouth because you refuse to swallow them. That's the power of silence, the kind of strength we talk about on Wisdom Waves, where we dive into how to guard your inner peace like a fortress. It's not easy. Every fiber of you screams to protect your pride, to clap back, to show them you're not weak. Pride is loud, demanding you fight. Dignity, though, dignity is quiet. It stands still, unshaken, while pride burns through your calm like wildfire. Dignity builds walls no insult can climb. Seneca, another Stoic heavyweight, said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." He could have been talking about respect. If you're starving for validation, chasing every nod of approval, you're forever broke, easily robbed by a careless word. But if you need nothing from others, if your worth comes from within, no one can steal your peace. Think about the last time someone's words made you burn inside. Maybe it was a friend who hit your weak spot with surgical precision, a boss who dismissed your work with a smirk, or some stranger on X who typed 2 careless words that stuck like thorns. Hours later, you're still replaying it, stitching your pride back together with quiet rage. The world is full of small people with smaller words. Some sling insults to feel big, some to test if they can rattle you, others because they envy the stillness in you they can't find in themselves. And yet, every time you break your silence to prove you're bigger than their mouth, you're handing them the win. On WisdomWavesAura, we unpack this trap, showing how to starve their words of power by refusing to engage. Epictetus, the Stoic, who started life as a slave, taught that you only control what's yours, your thoughts, your reactions, everything else that belongs to the world. An insult is just air, powerless unless your mind gives it teeth. This doesn't mean you pretend words don't sting. You're not a robot. You feel the jab, the heat rising in your chest. The Stoic doesn't deny the pain. They hold it, inspect it, and decide what to do with it. If the insult carries truth, they thank the critic for pointing out a blind spot, then quietly work to fix it. If it's a lie, they smile, knowing a false word can't dent a life built on solid ground. Imagine someone throws poison your way. They call you lazy, arrogant, a failure. Your first urge is to snap back, to prove them wrong. But what if you pause instead? You breathe, you watch them. Their face flushes, their voice wavers, because your stillness makes their noise look foolish. They wanted your anger, your flinch, your sweat. You gave them calm, and in that moment, they see you're not like the rest. But the kind of power we champion on WisdomWavesAura, where we teach you to choose where your energy goes, to save your fire for what matters. This isn't about being passive or turning into stone. It's about strategy, about picking your battles with precision. Sometimes you speak, but not in the heat of the moment, not with trembling hands or a racing heart. You speak when the truth demands it, not your ego. It's tempting to teach someone a lesson when they disrespect you, to fire off a comeback that cuts deeper than their jab. But here's the quiet truth. Most people don't learn from your sharp words. They learn when you refuse to stoop to their level, when your discipline slices cleaner than any retort. A Stoic doesn't fear being misunderstood. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Let them whisper, let them twist your name into something cheap. If your life is solid, your actions shout louder than any rumor. If your character is clean, no spit can stain it for long. Think of the hours you've wasted defending yourself to people who don't care about the truth. The arguments that left you hollow, the words you wish you could unsay. You thought you won because you had the last word, but you lost because you gave away your calm. Now think of the quiet victories, the times you let an insult pass, when you smiled, walked away, or stood still while they squirmed for a reaction, and got nothing. That's power. The kind we explore on WisdomWavesAura, built in silence, feeding no one but you. Aristotle said, anybody can become angry. That is easy. But to be angry with the right person, to the right degree, at the right time, for the right purpose, in the right way, that's the hard part. Sometimes an insult is a mirror, showing you where you're weak. If it's true, wear it like armor. Fix what's soft, strengthen what's shaky, but do it quietly, away from the world's gossip. A mind that can't be insulted is a fortress. Not because it feels nothing, but because it knows what matters. Small words from small souls can't shape a life that shapes itself every day. Next time someone tests you, let their words hang in the air. Let their poison rot where it falls. Your calm chokes it before it touches you. No force is heavier than the silence of someone who knows themselves. A fool fights every word. A king watches them break against his gate. Be the gate. Be the calm. Look them in the eyes. Say nothing. And say everything in that silence. What they throw only hits what you leave exposed. Guard your mind, your tongue, your peace. Insults are tests, and passing is simpler than you think. Do nothing, and nothing changes you. They're just words. Smoke that can't burn a mind that sees through it. On WisdomWavesAura, we dive deep into this Stoic wisdom, showing you how to hold your calm, how to let their words drown in your silence. Every jab you dodge, every slight you ignore, starves the one who threw it. You don't need to shout to win. Your stillness speaks louder. The world will keep throwing daggers, petty comments, jealous swipes, careless quips. Let them fly. You don't catch them, you don't throw them back. You let them fall, weightless, because you know who you are. That's the secret. That's the strength. The life built on self-knowledge doesn't crumble under words. It stands taller, unshaken, while the noise fades. Join us on WisdomWavesAura to learn how to master this art, to turn insults into air, and to build a mind no one can touch. Your peace is yours alone. Guard it, and let the world's venom dissolve in your silence.